Hey, everybody. I know that you wish you could make money every time you opened your mouth, right? Raise your hand. I know I wish I could. So, speaking with confidence, selling with authority from any platform, whether it's a video, a big stage, webinars, networking, I don't care what it is. This lady is going to tell you how to do it. She is the queen of captivating, converting, and selling clients from anywhere, any platform, any networking event, hands down. And I cannot wait for you to meet her. Oh my gosh, I'm going to say hello, Jane Powers.
Were you talking about me? Was that?
I'm talking about you.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I can't wait. Yes.
I know.
Hello there.
I know. Hello. Hey, you guys know where you're at. You're at the Aaron Strayer Show. And if you're watching us from any other place, because we are cross-posted in multiple different areas, there's a link right above. Go ahead and click that. Come on over here so we can see you and say hi to you here on the Aaron Strayer Show. This is where we uplift and leverage amazing female entrepreneurs that are out there in the world doing things just a little bit differently. And I cannot wait for you to listen to Miss Jane Powers today. She will rock your world. That red hair will set you on fire and like light under your seat to go out and do more, better, bigger things and convert your people into sales, handing you their wallet. There it is. Right, Jane? Hi, how are you?
Hurling their credit cards at you. That's what I like
Hurling
to
it. I know. I got a whole bio, but I don't feel like I want to read it. I feel like I want people to hear you like for the whole time.
Yeah, because the bio. So this is a great speaking tip for everyone. Don't do a bio for your introduction. It is boring. Like people start to read mine and I'm like, oh, that woman is a snooze fest. So don't even worry. Do a fun introduction. I think one time I did, Aaron, I had an introduction and I wrote it. And the last was, I was in Arizona speaking. They're like, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. And I could see the announcer was like, oh my God, that's like right around the corner. And that it was, I think I had in there professional juggler, juggles, 2 cattle dogs, 2 businesses, and her own personality or something. I don't even know. So make it interesting. So yes, don't read the bio. I'll tell everybody what they want to know and more.
Oh my gosh, right? Like you guys, I know you're going to want this information to go to your teams, your colleagues, the people, that you surround yourself with. So make sure you share this video and ask questions as we go. RJ's already on here. She is a wealth of information herself. Hi, RJ. How you doing? Yeah, you guys, I can't even stress enough how important it is to really shine your light, right? Because Jane, you're so magnetic that I just can't, I just want to eat you up and just be in your space. And I know we were laughing prior to coming on. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be off the charts.
I had to settle down to be professional. My face is killing me already. I know people are like, oh, it's killing us too.
Right? I know. RJ said she loves this already. She hates writing bios.
Oh, they're boring, RJ. Seriously. I have a really fun, I'll give this to you, Aaron. I have a really fun template for writing an interesting introduction. It's a little bit different, so I'll have to dig that out. But don't let anybody read your bio. I usually tell people read 3 lines and then go, this woman speaks for herself. Welcome, Jane M. Powers. And then I don't even have them go through that. So it is because it's really important. And we'll go into all the different things. But what's really important is to take the stage over when you go into, and it doesn't matter what stage, like this one. This is a platform. This is a platform to speak on, but it's a really great, and reading a bio goes like this, whoop, boop. Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I was at an event one time. Sorry, people, you're going to have to go on this journey with Aaron and I. I was at an event and they are reading the intro and I'm not, it was a scroll, like it kept going. And my business partner turned to me and she said, is there some rule it should be like within the last 5 years? It was like in 1902, Betty did this. How relevant is it? It's got to be relevant.
It's got to be relevant, and it's got to be new, and it's got to be, my husband says all the time, he goes, why do people care what you used to do?
Yeah. And some of that, though, I'm going to teach how some of that is really important, because a lot of people that come into an industry, they leave their past behind. And quite frankly, their past is what has made them uniquely qualified to do what they're doing. I'll give you an example, and I'll tell you. So I used to start my talks years ago, before I really had a brand, for God's sake. I would start and I would stand on stage, and I just very simply, I'd say my career started in the prison. And people would sort of they'd be like, and then they giggle a little bit. And I said, then I went into the drug and alcohol treatment centers. From there, I went into the community, and I was work with delinquents. I worked with sexual abuse prevention, suicide interventions. And then I went into corporate America, and guess what I found there? Adult delinquents. Well, what I would then say is, so what I know is I am uniquely qualified to deal with this audience. And everybody laughed. But it is where you came from captivates, because number one, people are like, worked in a prison, or they don't even know if I got to leave the prison. They're like, did you get to go home every day? Right. But it was unique enough to build authority and credibility, because most people have not worked in a prison. So they put someone else on a pedestal, not pedestal, but in a unique category, when they're like, so if someone was, an engineer, that could be a snooze fest. But if you relate it to what you're doing, and no offense to the engineers out there in the world, but come on. My dad was one. and you've got to relate it and build the credibility. That's so important. So yeah, people don't care what you did 25 years ago, but it is important to relate it to what you do now.
Yeah, I agree so much with that. And that those experiences bring us to our now.
Yes.
It's huge.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my whole career has been in sales. So I did cold calling where I had zero self-esteem. I'd walk in, it was face-to-face cold calling. I'm from Chicago. And I'd go in and I'd be like, they'd say, no, you can't talk to the HR director. I would cry, like right there in front of the receptionist. I was like, okay. I had zero self-esteem. So I had to get very creative with my selling. And I had always been speaking. So my first audience, 200 juvenile delinquents, as I told you, I worked in the area of leadership and mentoring youth. And I realized after all these years that I took my speaking experience with my 30 years of sales, put them together to come out with what I do today. And that is monetizing your message. So every time you open your mouth, you make money. And that's what we're here for. Serving is great. And I serve like crazy. The reason I can serve more is because I can articulate my message clearly, and people are like, I'm in, I got it.
And you're relatable. You're so relatable. And I think that's really huge with connecting to your audience, right? Like that connection factor.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, when I used to speak on stage, I would do corporate trainings for many, many years. And this was a handful of years ago, and I thought I had to be polished. And I grew up, I don't know, maybe your audience can relate, but I grew up in a complicated family. And I'm telling you, it was a crazy, I am actually writing a book. I'm going to be a made for lifetime movie, because you'll be like, well, how are you still alive today? So I was raised being told I was fat, dumb, and stupid. So when I would stand in front of an audience, I was afraid they'd find out I was a dumb kid. Mm-hmm. So I was very formal. I was very polished. And I was delivering a sales training, and I mixed up my words. And I said, so when you engage and the fart continues, and I said fart, like in front of this big corporate sales training. And in my head, I heard,
mortified.
Oh God, they're going to find out. The imposter syndrome came out. The other part of me said, no one thinks farts are funny. Like, farts are hilarious. So I stopped dead in my tracks and I said, here's the deal. Either you people are not listening to me or you do not think farts are funny. And the audience, like hundreds of them, died. And I'm like, all right. From that day forward, I became this kind of speaker. Like, there's no filter between this, and what spits out. So that is a great, authenticity is vital. It is vital. I worked with some of the greats. Mary Morrissey, I don't know if you are familiar with Mary Morrissey. She's like, sits at the right hand of God. Right. I think she put herself there. I'm just kidding. She is a brilliant teacher. And I would just, listen, and I would deliver like her. And it wasn't, there was nothing. I mean, it was just like, we've got to be who we are. That's what's so very important.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, with the authenticity and, just really standing in who you are as a person and in that relatability. And
I know you yourself, you were working on that, because
I know we talked off camera. I wasn't going to bring it forward here.
We just don't know who you are. You're just so, sheltered within.
A little shy.
Yes.
Shy. Shy is the word that usually comes forward.
Yeah.
Reserved and shy. Yeah.
Very reserved. Yes. And you don't let your heart show. Like, look at your background.
It's been a struggle my entire life.
Speaking of farts, you probably have rainbows and hearts come out when you're like, oh. All right, let's give value to the audience. Sorry, everybody, we get carried away.
So this is coming in really handy. She's got a speaking engagement tonight, so she's super grateful.
Yes.
I know. And Joy Ruffin says, hey, she loves this conversation. So that's awesome. I know that there are some massive key things that our message has to or should contain.
Yep.
Can we go there?
Absolutely. Okay, there's a couple of different things. I'm going to hit on the intromercial after this, after we talk a little bit about the
so it's going to be a mid-mercial.
Yeah, mid-mercial. We're going to be the mid-mercial. Because you said somebody has a speaking engagement. I want to make sure they've got the formula that is, so there's 7 key elements that are vital to have in your talk so it sells. We're not going to go over all 7 because that is like a full day workshop unless we all have time.
But we can all spend time with you on that. Yeah.
Yes. And they can actually make sure you tell people about the event September 6, 7, and 8, Phoenix, Arizona, letstalkimpact.com. So that's an infomercial. Here's what's really important, guys. Write this down because this is absolutely the crucial components of your talk. Right out of the gate is when you win your audience over, right out of the gate. So the very first step when you get on stage, remember I said, don't have a boring, long, lengthy bio intro. Come on with a wow factor, something that says you are no ordinary speaker. Whatever that looks like. It could be a short story, something fun, something easy. Mine happens to be, I step on stage, I look at my watch, and I look at the audience. I look at my watch again, and then I say 7 seconds. 7 seconds, your mind has made 1,000 computations about me. Unconsciously, automatically, you have made decisions. NYU did a study, blah, blah. I go into something different. Well, get that pen fast, RJ. You should have known to bring one to the class. And then you have your wow factor. So it can be, let's say you're speaking to entrepreneurs and you say, all the water in the world cannot drown you unless it gets inside of you. Eleanor Roosevelt knew exactly what it was like to be an entrepreneur. Today, we're going to look at how you can keep the water from getting inside of you and thrive in your business. I'm Jane Powers. I've created 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, a 6-figure coaching business. So the transition is into position me. Position yourself as the expert. So first you get on with the wow factor. I'm awesome. I'm surprising you with something different. The next step is position me. And I just demonstrated mine. I'm Jane Powers. Entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And I'm the only one who will probably tell them. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you make money. You tell about yourself. Yeah. So I do go into, I've created 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, a 6-figure business with a smile, a handshake, and a talk. And I go into positioning myself as the expert. find what you've done and give us 3 points of why you are awesome. You only have to know 2% more than your audience to be a qualified speaker. Isn't that, do you know what I used to do, Erin? I'd get on stage and I'd go, raise your hand if you know my oldest sister's middle name. Nobody? Raise your hand if you know the name of my first dog. Nobody? Perfect. All I need to know is 2% more than you. Pressure is off. We're going to have fun the rest of this workshop or presentation. Yeah. And I used to do that as my opening, and people would be like, well, that is different. But what it did was it actually psychologically put them at a place of me being 2% higher than them. You have got to lead your audience. So position yourself. Write 3 things that you have done in your life, past, present, future, if you know it. And put some numbers. Put some numbers in there. I did a fact finding one time, and I discovered I increased sales in Denver, Colorado, in one of the employment industry branches, profit centers, by 240%. Ooh. In 11 months. Not like 10 years, but 11 months.
Wow.
When I read that, I had pulled out a P&L, and I'm like, I had no idea I did that. Half of what we've done, we take for granted. It's easy for us.
Right.
People need to understand you are an expert. So your wow factor, position me, I'm awesome. The next step is position them.
Ooh.
Position them. In absence of the audience knowing they're in pain, they're not going to buy. And I'm going to tell you, when I do in my infomercial, I gave that, I did the entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority, because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And I see people like, not me. And I'm telling you, and then they'll be like, oh, come see me speak. And I'm like, oh, and I go see him speak, and I'm like, you miss that you are the one that's, and what people don't realize, they are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. So that is something really important. So when you move into position them, you are, write this down, poking the bruise.
Poking the bruise.
Poking the bruise, because here's what's really important. If I were to say, oh, no, it's great. You just introduce yourself, do your old-fashioned elevator pitch, and no, just give them a bunch of information and load in the kitchen sink. No, people would be like, oh, I'm doing it right. And what I'm saying is, no, you've got to understand you don't have an intro. You don't have a talk. You're not selling. You're inspiring. You're motivating. And inspiration without action is merely entertainment. So I'm pulling out the pain points. You're not coding your audience. Oh, if anybody comes to my event, I'm going to teach coding, which is really cool when you're speaking and selling, on how to code your audience. Because as a speaker and a sales, when you're doing sales, you got to know who you're talking to. So what you have to do is position your audience. For example, if you are a wellness coach, you're going to poke the bruise of being, unhealthy, eating like crap, not exercising, not flexible, you're going to poke the bruise. I did this. And again, remember, I just say whatever. I did a program called Think and Grow Skinny, because I was a mindset expert for many years. So I worked with a nutritionist and I help with mindset. And I told people, I'm going to be dropping the F-bomb. Fat. Like, that's the F-bomb. Like, it doesn't get any dirtier than this, people. But what I would do is I would poke the bruise by saying, the F-bomb, if it offends you, you need to work with me. Because that is a trigger in your mind. That is your F-bomb, and we need to work with that. If you can't fit into your old jeans, if you were eating gummies in the middle of the night, because I had one client who ate gummy bears in the middle of the night. So you've got to poke the bruise of your ideal client, otherwise they won't buy.
Yeah.
So position me, I'm awesome. Position them, you're screwed. Like, literally, I can get into my talk, and by the time I'm getting through to the real early phase, I go, I just have to tell you people, you are screwed.
You're screwed.
Me. And they laugh. People are like high five, and they're like, oh my God, you're so right. I'm so screwed. Like,
I'm so done. How'd you know I went to the dollar store just before it closes at 10?
People want you to help them. And denial is so key. It's funny. So I go out and speak, and I do my wow factor. Position me, position them. And the last P is the promise.
Ooh.
It's really about what you're going to deliver. But here's what's so important within your promise. So today we're going to show you some proven, simple, highly effective strategies to help you create your talk, your intromercial, be able to captivate, connect, and close your audience, blah, blah, blah. And then I am going to invite you to look at an opportunity to connect with me to support you further. Mm-hmm. You're teeing it up to let them know I'm gonna do an offer.
I'm gonna pitch you, right?
And I'll get to the middle of my talk, and I go, okay, raise your hand if when I make this offer, you are going to be completely shocked. Like, just raise your hand. And everybody laughs. They're like, just freaking make the offer. And I'm like, not ready yet. I haven't positioned you.
I ain't there yet.
Right. So those key components, if you set that talk up, you can talk about pickles in the middle of it. No, people will be like, I adore you. You get me. You're an expert. You know all the answers. I'm going to sit here and soak it up. And that is what most people miss. Most people will start with a story about themselves. Erin, that's like going on a date and you sit there and you go like, so in 19, I was born. And then you're telling them, and then my family did this. Oh yeah. Did I tell you about my divorce? You're not going any further because It's way too much too fast. Right. So you do not tell stories about yourself until you are in your content. Otherwise, you lose your audience and you lose the sale. I mean, I'm not saying people won't make money, because if you have good content and you follow up enough, you'll make some money. You will. But my goal for my clients, they make 5 and 6 figures from their talks. Yeah. And I'm not like this big walking testimonial, but I swear to God, I get floored sometimes when I see what people can do, because Erin, I've been doing this a long time and I can do it because this is just what I do. But when I teach someone and they're like, I just closed $17,000 from that talk, I go like this. Wow. Like I should be like, well, of course, but it still astounds me because it's just such a simple transition. So put those, whoever, I think RJ had your talk. Change your talk order. Make sure you have those in that order, or anybody else who is out there speaking. Yeah.
So I know we're getting a lot of feedback, so I'm trying not to talk a lot. You guys.
Let me put my headset on. Let me mute myself. Hold on.
I'm tech challenged today on this for some reason. I don't know, but you do what you need to do there. Yeah, try it. We're going to keep rolling here. But the feedback went away when she clicked her mic off. But yeah, I really am appreciating the sequential, like switching up the order. It's not the technical paper delivery. You got your address at the top and the dear sir and this is what I'm writing you about, and you go into the bot, right? It's totally switching up and becoming human and being relatable and positioning yourself as the authority. Let's see if we can hear you with your headset on. No, I can't hear you. You have to, can't hear you. Switch your mic to your headset, maybe in the settings. It's really thinking a new, different way of connecting with your people and really, really thinking differently about how you are connecting and capturing your audience. I know that was a word. Oh yeah, just leave it out. Oh no,
yeah, so sorry. I couldn't find it in there.
Okay, cool. We'll just roll with that. I'm not getting the feedback. It must have been with your mic connection there. So, but that capturing of your people is so key. And wow, if you can nail that delivery.
And it is so important. And here's what, let me tell you this story. I should find her video and have it available. Heidi Mount, she came to me. I spoke a few years ago at an event, and she came up, big Model S, beautiful gal, big crocodile tears, crying like, oh, I can't speak in public. And I'm like, well, sweetie, you're doing it now. She's like, no. And I worked with her, and she said, do not put me on a stage. So I took that exact formula with the 7 key elements. I actually write people's talk. Erin, believe it or not, I'm impatient, if you could believe it.
I can't. Not one bit of me believes that.
I know. It's so tough. But I just write people's talk for them when we do a VIP day, because people are like taking too long, and I just put it together. So I send her out. A week later, she's on a podcast. She works with dentists. So it's the Good Old Boy Network. And she's on this giant, it was like a live radio TV interview type thing online. Anyhow, she delivers it. I'm watching it. I'm mortified. She's terrible. I think she cried during it. At one point, it looked like she was starting to cry. She called me and she goes, oh my God, what'd you think? And she was all excited. And I said, congratulations, sweetie. You did so good. And she goes, I was bad, wasn't I? And I go, you sucked. You were so bad. And she goes, do you want to know how bad I was? And I said, yes. She goes, before it was over, she got an email for an $18,000 contract. The next week, she got $6,000 contract. And guys, she was terrible. Oh, I say guys because I'm talking to a Midwesterner. Remember, I'm not supposed to.
Hey, it's all good. We're all the same. We know who you're talking about.
But all she did was follow the format of delivering her talk. It's so important. So how long are we going to go on here?
We got a couple more minutes here. Unless the people want to keep rolling. I mean, we can keep rolling. If the people, you guys let me know in the comments if you want to keep rolling, and we'll just go and.
Well, here's what I don't care, Erin. If they drop off and it's just you and I am delighted. I love to see everybody over here. As you can tell, I get distracted. I'm like, I want to talk to the people and start chatting.
I know. Jen says she loves the formula. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Well, here's what
RJ, keep rolling with capitals. All capitals for RJ. Yeah.
No, RJ, you're yelling at us. All right, Franco Sarda. I love those shoes. Franco. All right, here's what I want to tell you guys. Rock. I'm going to give you the best formula of your entire life. I'm not kidding. I have had people make 6 figures from this alone. I've actually done this. Okay, you're ready? What I'll do, I've got 2 things. I would just want to give you the whole thing. Okay, so first off, I'm going to give you some URLs. If you would type them in, I would so appreciate it, Erin. Yep. So people go to janemmpowers.com/ I don't know which direction that slash is.
I got it.
Put the damn slash in. /SP-assessment. Don't go do that now, people. But that SP-assessment, that's my speaker assessment. What it will do is tell you the type of speaker you are, and then it leads you to the video that I'm going to talk to you about right now. So you'll get it all laid out. It'll diagram everything for you. But if you go to janemmpowers.com /SP-assessment.
I just dropped it in the link, guys.
Okay, perfect. If you go there, then what it'll do is it'll tell you your speaker type: imposter, impersonator, overloader, flatliner. Then you'll go into a video. From the video, you'll go into this next formula. This will make you millions.
Millions! Drop the money bags!
Now we're Oprah Winfrey. I was on the Oprah show in I won't tell you, it was many years ago. I'll tell you that story someday.
Yep, okay. That's another show.
Intromercial. Your intromercial. How you introduce yourself in 17.5 seconds so it sells. I'm going to break it down, easy, simple, but it's not. When you go to create it, don't let your brain explode. Go through the video. Okay, your intromercial. I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'm going to unpack it.
Do it.
I'm Jane Powers. Entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent, and I'm probably the only one who will tell them. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you will make money. People go, I know what exactly you do. They know what I do. We want people to absolutely know what you do. So here's how it starts. Do not ever, ever again in your lifetime say, I help women. I help men. You sound like a volunteer. You are a viable business owner. So entrepreneurs hire me. Women hire me. Men hire me. Corporations hire me. If they don't hire you, partnership. They partner with me or collaborate with me. So if you're not one that they hire, then it's collaborate or it is partner. So whoever hires you, if you don't know who hires you, you have to. Some people say everybody and anybody. If it's everybody and anybody, it's nobody. Narrow down just, if you are working with everybody and anybody, bring it in just about 10%, 10 to 20. Okay, who hires you? If nobody has yet, you're not lying because they're going to. So at some point, they will hire you. So entrepreneurs hire me. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. To do what? It's your holy grail. It is the biggest and best outcome that you provide your audience. I used to say entrepreneurs hire me to speak. Oh, I still do that. To unleash the world-class speaker in them. And then I get down to the bottom and somebody said to me, I had no idea you did sales. That's all I do because speaking is selling. I just happen to teach you to sell using a talk. So whomever hires you to do the holy grail. I had one gal, she was a CPA. Entrepreneurs hire me to outsmart the IRS. That one was sexy and awesome.
Sexy,
I've got another one is entrepreneurs hire me to launch, lead, and fill masterminds. Like it's really clear. I know exactly what you do. So it is the holy grail. It's short and sweet. It is not a lengthy dissertation about what you do, how you do it. It is the ultimate outcome. Here's a great way to play this game. When you don't know what your holy grail is and you say, oh, and never say these things, take it to the next level and up level your life. Oh, I don't even know what that means. Please don't say that. Not in my presence.
What's that mean?
I know.
What if they use the word propel?
Propel. Well, it's not badish. Catapult might be better.
Okay.
Catapult. These are really
Propel
good words.
is in my 17 and a half minute spiel that I learned from you.
You're 17 and a half minute. We got to cut that down. You mean networking. You're like, no, hang in there. No, I'm almost done.
Give me a couple more seconds. Wait, minutes.
I'm on minute 10. I just have 7.5 more minutes. Hang in there. Propel is not bad. You might want to look at catapult. Propel is not as instantaneous. Do you know what I'm saying? What I usually tell people, use words like ignite, unleash, command, catapult. So they're more masculine feel, a more controlling feel to those words. Okay, so entrepreneurs hire me, or whomever hires you to put your holy grail in, because really important to keep that word in there. Because what happens when I say because? Your mind says why.
Right.
You're trained that way. When we were little, they're like, you can't do that. And you're like, why? They're like, because. And you're like, why? And you're like, because. Why? So our mind immediately triggers to why. So when you say because, your audience goes, why? It's a pattern interrupt to the listening. Then come up with 3 pain points. Boring, confusing, and inconsistent. Whatever your pain points are. And I didn't know I was going to be training this. Otherwise, I would have brought some samples. But you'll see a bunch of them when you do the assessment. You'll see the samples in there. Then, okay, Holy Grail, because pain This is where you get to say, I help. So the so is a pattern interrupt, because what happens when I say so? Your mind says what? This is the best way to engage people. Networking from stage, it doesn't matter. So I help. Then you go into, so I help them connect, capture, and close, get clarity, confidence, and cash. Whatever it is you have. And again, you guys, it took a while to get to these bulleted answers. Mine started out probably 17 and a half minutes. So make it quick, easy, and put it all together. So it's so funny, Erin, I have so many different training opportunities. I have my live event September 6th, 7th, and 8th in Phoenix. And that is, if you go to letstalkimpact.com, you'll see all the information there. I'm doing a live stream on the 18th that I'm actually going to teach positioning and intromercial and to make the offer. And that's on the 18th at noon. I don't know. I don't have the URL up. I'm still creating pages, but that would be, if you go to the assessment, you'll get on the mailing list and get all the invitations for that. But what's really important, if you come to the event, I believe I'm making Erin come. So I believe we've got on the 5th is our VIP intensive, where we're going to do creation of intromercial. I've got other experts that'll be there. And if Erin is so gracious to volunteer her expertise, she'll be on the expert panel. And then we're going into speaking, intromercial, offers, video, everything. But the reason I say that is because I don't want you to get overwhelmed with, these are a lot of ideas, like I'm fire hosing. But if you can do two things to create your intromercial. One, this is the best exercise. Write down every single job you've had. Now, if you're me, that's way too many.
Page after page.
And I've probably been fired more than the total of people on this entire line. Like, I had a free spirit. That's what I like to say. So write down every job you've had, every problem you've solved at that job.
Ooh.
It's a great exercise. That's where I discovered I did the increase of sales 240%. Find numbers. Say, for example, if someone was a buyer at an organization, you managed multi-millions of dollars for a multi-million-dollar organization or $1 billion organization.
Right.
You've got to get creative where if you're like, well, I haven't created 2 multi-million-dollar businesses. Well, then you go, I'll borrow other people's numbers. I was, ran and managed a, organization that contributed to a multi-million-dollar organization. So get creative with your positioning statements. But that's how I wrote down every job. My first job was Dairy Queen. My sister owns 3 of them in Chicago. Anybody lives there, let me know. I'll tell you, go in and get a free Blizzard. I love her so much every time I say that. Write down every job you've had, every problem you've solved. And then everybody has done this. I hate to be so trite, but everybody's done this where they have on one side of the page, put down every pain point of your audience. The other side, put the benefit that you offer. So just know that is everybody's done that, but that's what helps you create your intromercial. And get creative. Get creative. Here's the thing. This is like so important. Do not, and if you are, just stop it. Stop trying to do what everybody in the marketplace is doing, because we have enough minions out there. We have enough mini-me's out there. We have enough people who are, I call it mimicking rather than modeling. If you love the idea, put your personality into it. If you just being out there and trying to do it like everyone else, it will burn you out faster than anything. You'll get the other swear word, which is a job, like J-O-B. If you can't be yourself and own your message, and that's what I stand for. It's funny, my business, I don't know if I shared this with you, Erin. The way that I created my business, I actually, copycat crap. That's what I have. A great Franco. I have that as a chapter. Oh yeah, I have a book too. I forget to tell. I have a book.
I know, she's got a great book, you guys.
Bestseller, Erin. That's like, I have no idea. Best new release. I never forget. I forget to brag about that. So I'm a best-selling author. Speak with confidence, sell with authority. That's the name of the book by Jane M. Powers. What was my point? Oh yeah, I started my business because I wanted to work with individuals. It was called The Missing Piece, PEACE, and it was for individuals that were abused, sexually abused, and I wanted to help individuals find their voice.
Yeah.
And I went to do workshops and no one was raising their hand. It was still the best kept secret. And I was so frustrated. And I thought, okay, 1 in 3, where are you people? I was the only one raising my hand. And I thought, all right, why do I want to work in that model? And I thought, because people need to find their voice, whether it's to tell their secrets, tell their truth, tell about their business, doesn't matter. People need to speak up, stand up, and play full out. So I decided, I've been a professional speaker. Why don't I teach people to do that? And then as a result, they'll speak up everywhere in their life. That's how my business was born. Was how the heck do we tell our truth and make a difference in our own life? And quite frankly, it's selfishly motivated. Everything I teach helps me grow. And as a result, everybody wins from what I teach. So that's my mission. My mission is, and people are like, oh, you're going to make multi-millions. And I'm like, I really don't look at that.
Yeah.
I don't look at that. I look at who am I becoming? And I was talking to somebody yesterday and I'm like, please don't think you have to be perfect to get out and do this work in the world. I'm probably the most screwed up person you'll ever meet, but I'm very honest about it. Like, I'll tell you my faults, but the key is owning who you are, articulating your message so clearly that people go, I know what you do, you understand and get me, and I'm on board. And it's all about speaking your truth.
Yes. Yes. And don't you think that again goes back to connecting with your audience, with your people, with your clients, with everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's in and around you and in your circle. And like, it's all about connecting in those experiences, right? Like, so what, you had a screwed up childhood, who didn't, right? Like
I always have a crazy off with my friend. I'm like, okay, do I have to win again? I'm tired of winning the crazy off. Like, my family was far crazier. So we always have the crazy off. But truly what happens, and I'll tell you, I wanted to be an attorney. Couldn't you see me litigating?
Could I see you in the courtroom? Holy cow.
You're out of order. I'd be in contempt constantly. But I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I'm going to be an attorney. And he looked at me and said, that's for smart kids, and you're not all that smart. And you're sort of dumb. You're a good athlete. Go be a PE major.
Go be a PE major.
So guess what I was?
A PE major.
Of course I was.
Of course you were.
Because I believed
I'd be good at it.
I know. I believed what he said. And then I go in. Oh, thanks, Stephen. That's nice. Now I've sold 2 copies. I'm kidding.
I bought the first one, Stephen.
Excellent. So 2. Oh, shoot. That makes you a bestseller. No, actually, on the first day, I sold hundreds. I was like so delighted. Okay. So then if you come to my event, people, I will sign the book. Big deal. So what was I? Oh, I wanted to become a professional speaker. And my dad said, who wants to listen to you? So we get enough information from the outside to tell us why we're not enough, why we're charging too much, why we should be doing something different. We get so many messages that it skews what we know to be true about ourselves. So if we can get our positioning statements down, we get the infomercial so solid that people take us seriously because we're credible. Doesn't matter what's going on in your head.
Right.
Because I'll stand on stage and I've got on this shoulder total confidence. On this shoulder, what are you doing? You are going to be found out. And I'm telling you, if I could express 2 things at once while I'm delivering, I would share with people, here's what part of me is thinking, here's what the other part of me is thinking, and it would come out. But as long as you have structure, That's the important piece. Structure around your message. You will not falter. You will make money. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt.
It's so good. It's so good. Jane, you have to come back.
Always. I think I'm like, I said we're going to do a marathon today.
I know. Jen Smitten. She's smitten.
Jen, thank you. And you guys, come to my event. It is anybody who comes through Erin, you are my guest. I mean, you got to do the 197 seat deposit because you got to have skin in the game. Otherwise, what happens? You don't come. So if you go to letstalkimpact.com and register, you come. Hey, Erin, you know what we should do? Let's just upgrade people to the coaching intensive.
There it is.
If they come, you come that evening, September 5th, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. I will let your people will come in. I'm not feeding you for the rest of the event. You got to do VIP for that, and you get special speakers and all the good stuff. But if you go and register, I'll track everybody. I'll know who's coming in. And we'll upgrade you. Go and take the assessment. So I don't know if you have that somewhere. Jane M.
Yep,
Powers.
Yep.
I love that because people. Erin, did you take the assessment?
I didn't. I just dropped the thing in, but I'm going to take it.
Excellent. You have to because I already know what you are.
You do? What am I?
I'm not telling you. I'll wait.
I know I'm shy and reserved.
Yeah, but I'm guessing you're the overloader.
Overloader.
You probably give way too much information. I'm a classic overloader. I'm like, wait, I didn't give you the kitchen sink. And then I'm like, but I really believe
we're supposed to have 2 sinks.
We've got a double sink event. But it's true. We all do the overload. But sometimes if you're a combo overload or flatliner, I can help just about anybody get out of their speaking dilemma, because those are usually the biggest mistakes is people are giving too much. But most important, they are not positioning themselves as the expert. So you gotta position yourself. I'm awesome. You're screwed. Here's what we're gonna do, and then you make the offer. And I don't know if I told this. 75% of my speaking engagements I can't sell. And I will leave the room selling 5 and 6 figures. I'm going to call my next event the double sink event. That's totally going to be it. It's all for overloaders. We're going to cure you of the overloader. But you just make free offers. But always make an offer. Please never speak without making an offer. You have to. Like me. Follow me. Buy this.
Some kind of call to action, right, for your people to do.
Yeah, and you have to tee it up at the beginning. Otherwise, it's a bait and switch. Not so much for the audience, but for yourself. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, no, I'm going to make an offer. And I didn't prepare people. You got to prepare them. Plant the seed so they're not going to go, oh, well, now they're pitching. Have you heard? I've heard that a million times. Oh, now they're pitching. And I'm like, what, have you been living under a rock? Everybody pitches. This is a pitch fest. You know this. I don't do that at my events. I hate that. I only have a couple offers. Otherwise, yeah. So when you come to my event, don't be like, what do you mean you're making an offer? I actually tell people as I'm doing my offer, I teach them how to do the offer. So it's like, I'm offering you this. This is real. You may buy this. Here's how you do this.
Here's how you do it.
And I can't emphasize enough, there are crappy speakers out in the world that mean well. They really do. They mean well. They just don't have the structure. So if you might be said crappy speaker, and I don't mean like you're providing pitiful value, but you're just not making money from it, that makes you a crappy speaker.
Yeah.
You got to make money. Why? Like I spend, oh my God, my first pay to play, $17,500. Marshall Weeder. I don't know if anybody knows Marshall Weeder, Dream Builder, Dream University, Dream something. That was in my mindset spiritual coaching days. And then I discovered I was a very impatient spiritual coach. we go into Zen like, okay, good. I had a coach that did tapping. Have you ever done EFT tapping?
Yeah.
Oh, there are 82 places that you're tapping. I get too bored.
Oh, you muted yourself.
I was tricking y'all.
You tricky.
$17,500, 15 minutes on a stage, and I broke even. I didn't have the right structure for my talk back in the day. I was speaking from the heart and sharing what I thought was valuable. And boy, I had to follow up to break even. Sorry about the echo. That's why I tried to mute.
Yeah. It just started like all of a sudden again. Sorry, guys. So there's a couple links in the feed here. We'll make sure that they're in here again. There's links to your book. There's links to the event in Phoenix in September.
Overload those books. Overload those links. I mean,
Number one bestseller.
Yeah, all the links we've got, every URL I own, I'm going to give to you. Get your speaker success kit. Oh my God, I have so many URLs. I'm like, I own GoDaddy stock.
GoDaddy stock. There it is.
But seriously, I really would love if your folks want to come to the event. They are my guests. But you still got to put the $197. When you come, you're going to get all the bells and whistles. And
this is a 3-day event, people. Or if you come for the VIP day.
Don't miss the VIP day, because I'm telling you what happens in that time. You ask anything. If you're like, how do I do a launch? We're like, here's what it looks like. And I've got some experts that they give their all, because I bring in classic overloaders as well. But this energy, 3 days. And I'm low key this morning. And
she's low key now, guys. I'll verify that.
But I will give as much as I possibly can. And I'm a pretty good speaker, but sales, when I do sales training, I will say I am one of the best. I will overcome every
$197 you ever spent.
But then they get that money back. I give them the $197 back.
When? Why?
When they
Why?
Because I'm damn nice. That's why. No, I'm serious. They come as my guest. You put a $197 fully refundable. Hear this. When you come back into there, I'm trying to find a check. I hand you your check, $197. So it ends up being $0. And it is, unless you go, if you do VIP, you upgrade. But here's a hint. Come to the live stream. I've got a special deal on the 18th for VIP upgrade. You can save a little money. So that's all. That's what I know. And I'm making Aaron show up. So you might want to hang out with all of us.
All right, I know I got glitter in the mail. It's all over my house.
I'm going to send her just a bunch of my cards. Next thing, you're going to have nothing but wallpaper of my business card behind you and my photos. All right, what last questions? Because I know but do you see the numbers are crawling up?
And RJ's, I think, hopped off because her show starts in 6 minutes, so I'm sure she will have to prepare for that. But I think you teed her up good for her event tonight.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, what last minute biggest tip that money-making tip I can give you? What would that be? Like, what can I answer? What inquiring minds would like to know? What?
I want to know your biggest aha moment in sales.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it can't be the fart one.
The biggest aha moment for me was I cannot need my prospects more than they need me. Here's an even better one. This one will save every sale you've got. You will never overcome an objection you agree with.
Right?
It sucks to know that. Because if there's somewhere in your mind, your body, your soul, you're feeling lack or broke or financial struggle, guess who comes to you every time? You get all those I'm broke. I don't have enough money. I'm doing this. I don't know where I'm going to live. It's you. Like all of our sales are our fault.
Yeah.
Who we attract. So you'll never overcome an objection you agree with, and you will. Oh, God, I have a million little things. You can't need your clients more than they need you. And the final one, you will never outperform your own self-image. And when you're saying, and I've said it many times, why not me? Why do they have all that success? Why not me? Because I have a level of believing that keeps me growing at the rate that I do. Mm-hmm. Mic drop. And also, you know who I learned that from? I worked with Gay Hendricks many, many, many years ago. The Big Leap. He talks about the upper limit problem. We all have it. We're plagued with it. And it's just a really bad habit of our thinking. If we can move into the sales conversation, speaking, and have fear as our companion, that's what we never lose fear. I'm the biggest chicken. I'm a big crybaby too, but I'm a big chicken. Like everything scares me, but I just plow through it knowing it's all going to work out on the other side. It's entrepreneurship, anything, actually, it's a mind game. It is all about the battle of this. It's not about techniques. It's about what goes on in our noodle.
I agree 100%. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have gone over. We could talk for like the rest of the day, and I wouldn't be mad about it at all. Well, neither one of us would get anything done. Y'all wouldn't get anything done because we'd all be right here, folks. Guess what? You can get more of Miss Jane M. Powers, who is, of course, often amazing, obviously. Why I wanted her on this show with me today. Her event is in the feed. Please go there. The Impact. Let's talk. Let's talk Impact.
Whatever order.
It doesn't matter. We'll find it. And the feed, it's in the feed. The link's in the feed. That's her event in September. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 5th is the
Correct.
VIP day in September in Phoenix, Arizona. Go there. You'll get to see both of us there. And she needs a wheelbarrow for all these gold nuggets, right?
A wheelbarrow. Yeah, just don't burn money in that wheelbarrow. That's what I've done a lot of.
Just melting the gold down. Melting the gold down. Now, you guys can find Jane Powers right on her website, janempowers.com. You can go and get her book. We all own it. You'll want it. You'll need it. You want to spend more time with this lady. She's amazing. You guys, thank you so much for being on the Aaron Strayer Show today and allowing us to go over time. It's been an amazing hour of value and content. I did it. What's my word? Catapult your sales and close your people and let them hand you over their money. She gave you the steps today. If you want more of her in your world, you go hang out with her. I highly encourage it because I do. I like hanging out with her. Anyway, she's a little low key today though, so you'll get a little bit more of her on normal days.
Y'all. Aaron, love you most. All right, everybody.
Thanks, you guys. For being here. We'll see you right back here soon. Take care.